Hey guys, Jaren here. Today I'm here with Maxine, who is the co-founder of Bitspark, a really awesome crypto company. Maxine, how's it going?
Hi everybody, I'm going good. We're just here at Consensus in Singapore. We've just wrapped up a panel and now I'm just chatting about what we do with Jaren.
Maxine lives in Hong Kong and I think has a really interesting perspective on what's happening in Asia, but understanding a Western perspective. What would you describe as happening in Asia right now?
I think it's really fascinating because I've been based in Asia running Spark since 2014. So during that time, I really saw that nobody cared about crypto as much as they did in the US. But now, like even when we're at Consensus, we can completely see that that has completely flipped over. And what's so fascinating is that people are not talking about Bitcoin anymore. They're talking about ICOs and like all these different types of coins that are out there. So I think the main thing is that people are very intrigued about seeing how all these like blockchains and different technologies can be used and integrated into existing industries.
How would you say the regulatory environment is through all the different countries out here?
Well, it depends on what market, but for Hong Kong, it's mostly a free market. So when we saw that China
God
was
bless
banning,
Hong Kong.
when we saw that China was banning exchanges, we saw a whole migration of these huge Chinese cryptocurrency exchanges going to Hong Kong and Malta. Now, I think that's amazing because it really exemplifies that the Hong Kong government's stance on cryptocurrency, which is that let's just wait and see, is a good thing because now we have, all the big exchanges that have moved there. And a lot of them have picked Hong Kong over Malta as well, which I really think goes to show that there's something in Hong Kong about their unregulated stance. And I think Hong Kong is really trying to push itself as a technology hub as well. So we were a part of the Cyberport program, which is a Hong Kong government initiative to make us the Silicon Dragon of Asia.
Lightning Flame Dragon!
It's what they're trying to do, and but Hong Kong is also extremely unique. I was just on a panel yesterday with Dominic from Cash VN. He's our cash out partner in Vietnam. And he was saying that in Vietnam, the regulation there is extremely painful to the point where they are having a lot of trouble with the government to try to ensure that they're not stepping on the wrong lines, and because it's such a gray area. So I think that's also something that's happening in Asia, but also just globally, that we've got a lot of companies that are using cryptocurrency, but they're unable to fully be comfortable with what they're doing. So I think that's a real shame, but I think that that's much more better. Like that's better than being over-regulated, right? Which is what we see a lot of banks at the moment. They're over-regulated. Even if they wanted to change their structure to be more efficient, they really can't.
I've been very focused in my life on improving my leadership skills, which, it starts with who do you hire, and it goes to how do you motivate them, and just really, really caring. And then I think a lot of that goes into what are you talking about? What are the issues you care about? And I think that in crypto, there's always been such a strong tie between, I'll call it social good, politics, and financial disruption.
I would say that at least for the more like OG people, it really is about making sure that
win, baby, win. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.
we're making a big social change because for some reason, like, there's something that we feel that's needed. But just talking about leadership, I make sure that everybody that we hire at Spark is passionate about crypto for the right reasons. They're not just doing it because of FOMO.
Awesome.
Right? We've got a lot of candidates who are FOMO candidates, and I don't think that that's the right reason. And like each to themselves, but I want people to join the team because they really believe in how this technology is going to change the world, right? And they know how to apply it at the same time. I also make sure that everybody around me is like much smarter than me.
That's
And-
smart.
You smart. You very smart. Matter of fact, you a genius.
Yeah, and I make sure that my job is to make sure that they're leaders and that they can do the best that they can do. And that if I can facilitate that, that's my job done.
Damn, you hiring?
Yeah, I'm hiring.
All right, reach out to me or her. We'll get you in touch either way.
Yeah, we're running a decentralized task protocol, and essentially what that means is that, you know, if you've got a full-time job or something like that, but you still want to help Spark in some way, you can actually look at our we call it the open responsibility matrix, and people can just go on there. It's a spreadsheet, and there's different things that people can do, and it could be as little as like a tweet, or it can be making a brochure for us, up to being like a community manager. So that's also something that we want to do, is that like Hong Kong is so hard to get centralized talent, so why not hire decentralized?
Definitely. What's some advice that you would give, especially Westerners, on doing business in Asia?
But in terms of Hong Kong, I think that the population there is too small, but the regulation there is, well, like it's one of the freest markets in the world. So to base your company in Hong Kong, but make sure that whatever company that you do actually have is more of like a global company, and that you're serving like the world, not just a small population.
What do you see business-wise happening in Hong Kong as we transition into its ownership with China?
Yeah, it's a hard one. I think that I would hope things remain the same, but what's happening in Hong Kong at the moment is that it still does not have full, it's an autonomous region, right? So it means that its laws are different to China. Now, if we look at what's happening in China right now, is that they're cracking down or attempting to crack down on cryptocurrency. Like, are those same rules and regulation going to be passed over to Hong Kong in 4 years' time, which is when the official Passover time is?
Yeah.
So I think that it's really hard to navigate and guess. But if they're going to mimic their policies in in China, in Hong Kong, then I would say it's a bad future for Hong Kong. If they don't and they keep things the same, which is great right now, then it will be a bright future. But I think this is a conversation that many people in Hong Kong are having.
You know, there's some people in the crypto space who you can tell have lost their passion, especially during a bear market. It happens every time.
Yeah.
You don't strike me that way.
No way. Yeah, because I don't build the business on the market. I build it on the technology and what it can do. So whenever the price goes up and down, like that could be good for our business because we can hedge the market, right? If the USD market is high, if it's low, it takes a while for the Indonesian market to catch up. So we can actually, buy and sell using those markets and like reverse the corridors as well. I think that if you're going into this business and you're like defining how you feel about it because of the price, then you're in it for the wrong reason. Like, I don't think that this is a get rich quick scheme for nobody. And I think that people who've been in this industry for a while, like, you just kind of know that.
You know, what really started to happen to me over the last year is something sparked inside of me that made me start caring a lot more about social impact.
Yeah.
And that's really what's been driving me. And I think that the people who are remaining in the space right now tend to have a very similar deeper reason why they're doing this.
I mean, I do it because every day I feel like we're changing the world somehow. So that's why I like enjoy being in this space, because every day I just feel like very fulfilled. Everything comes in cycles, right? So, just be in it for the right reasons. Don't let it get you down.
Yeah, all right. Don't let it get you down, guys. I think that's a good way to leave off today. Maxine, if you're not following her on Twitter, what's your handle?
Maxine Ryan.
All right, Maxine Ryan on Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching, and thanks a lot for chatting with me.
Yeah, it was lovely. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.